Now, coming up after the break, stay with us. Gavin Morris has all your local weather details.
Caltex has been fined a record $400,000 over a major fuel spill at Banks Meadow in 2013. The company was convicted after a hose at the Port Botany Industrial Estate disengaged, spilling 150,000 litres of fuel and leaving 3 people in hospital. To finance, and it was a lacklustre day on the markets. The All Ords closing just over 5 points lower. Our dollar is buying 76.84 US cents. It's time to check the weather now with Gavin Morris and Gav. It was a chilly February morning.
R32, now available in Dakin ducted systems. A next-generation refrigerant with a substantially lower impact on the environment. Ensure your next ducted system is a Dakin for pure comfort. Dakin.
Good evening. Thank you, Vanessa. It was a chilly start to the day across the region, single digits widespread, but lovely to have a break from the heat, but it is going to roll back in, I'm afraid. Temperatures mostly maxing out in the high 20s. We had a couple of 30s off towards the western plains and towards the tablelands also. Up around 30 degrees was recorded at Mudgee throughout today. Rain over the past 24 hours has mostly come from ex-tropical cyclone Alfred throughout the Gulf country and throughout the Golden West from this latest front that has dragged north a lot of cold air that is going to cross the Bight, and it's going to make for some pretty windy conditions throughout southeastern Australia over the next 24 hours. Cloud getting sheared off ex-cyclone Alfred right across Queensland into northern New South Wales throughout today, but locally there is just a lot of clear, dry air, and that will be flushed in across the Riverina and the Western Plains yet again. And as this low approaches, winds will really be gathering some speed, especially across the opened and elevated areas, particularly the alpine regions. Melbourne is going to see a hot one unfold. It's been a big turnaround from Melbourne. It was very chilly there across the weekend and now back to the mid-30s. Beautiful in the west, still hot in the centre. Another break from the storms throughout the tropical north. If you're travelling towards Sydney and Brisbane, all fine and still very warm. In for a local look at tomorrow's forecast rain. We're not expecting anything at all. It is going to be dry right across the entire region. Here's our winds in the thermoscale. Back to the northerlies. Those very warm northwesterly winds are going to dominate right across the southern plains all the way to the southwest slopes and the tablelands. So we'll see the mercury hit the mid-30s again. Clear skies. So we're going to have another cool night. Not as chilly as this morning, but some pretty big temperature swings because of those clear skies overhead, making for another bright blue sky day right across the entire region to the western slopes and the tablelands. A little bit cooler across the higher elevated areas, but you can see another very warm summer's day is on the way. Sunrise info. You've got the sun to rise at about 20 to 7 tomorrow morning approximately, and setting just before 8. Not much in the way of moon at the moment, so we're waiting for our new moon next week. Taking a look at this long-range forecast, very clear days are set to remain at Wagga and right across the Riverina and the southwest slopes. Temperature-wise, more heat on the way into the mid-30s consistently. We've got a change coming through on the weekend. Doesn't look like we're going to see any rain from that, so predominantly dry. Over the tablelands, we should see some storms flare up come Saturday afternoon, and you can see a lovely temperature drop behind that change over the mountain regions. Across the western plains, also very hot in the coming days. We get a little temperature drop with that change, and there is the small chance of seeing a shower unfold for Dubbo and surrounds. So overall, we are in for a hot run. It is going to be fine, clear, mostly sunny. The chance of rain from this weekend system for us, I'm afraid, is going to be very limited indeed. I'll check it all again, same time tomorrow night.
Hold on tight. Thanks, Gav. Before we go, an update on our top stories. Catastrophic engine failure is being blamed as the likely cause of today's fiery plane crash in Melbourne, which killed 5 people. A veteran pilot and 4 American golfers were en route to Tasmania's King Island when the plane crashed shortly after takeoff. It ploughed into a section of the DFO shopping complex in Essendon, but no one on the ground was injured. And Victorian police have confirmed remains found in Mount Macedon, northwest of Melbourne, are those of missing mother Karen Ristevski. And that's 9 News for this Tuesday. Tracy is up next with a current affair. I'm Vanessa O'Hanlon. Have a great evening. Good night.